But Attorney General Jeff Sessions, just days after he criticized Sessions for recusing himself for the Russia investigation, this morning the president tweeted, quote, "So why aren't the committees and investigators and, of course, our beleaguered AG looking into crooked Hillary's crimes and Russia relations?" A new attack against one of his earliest and most loyal supporters. And now the president's new communications director is weighing in on all of this. Our Jeff Zeleny is at the White House for the breaking news. So do we know, has the president even spoken directly to the attorney general since his comments about him in the New York Times last week?
Well, Anderson, he has not spoken to the Attorney General, and the new communications director, like you said, Anthony Scaramucci, he told our Sarah Murray earlier today that, look, he said that they need to have a face-to-face discussion about their future. Well, that's interesting that the communications director would say that the president and the Attorney General should have a conversation, but the president has not asked for one. The president has not brought the Attorney General, who's not just any old Attorney General, Anderson, he was his most loyal, committed, dedicated supporter back during the presidential campaign. He left his job in the safe Senate seat of Alabama to become the Attorney General. He, in fact, Jeff Sessions was in the West Wing today, we are told. He was having normal meetings with the White House counsel's office, with other advisors, but not with the president. We are told that they have not spoken since before that New York Times interview, where last week the president essentially threw his Attorney General under the bus. And we got a window into the president's thinking today during a photo op with interns, of all things, when the president was standing silently to take a picture. Then a reporter asked him this.
Mr. President, should Jeff Sessions resign?
So the eye roll there and the smirk spoke volumes, although he did not speak anything at all. But Anderson, again tonight, the president was in West Virginia speaking at a Boy Scout jamboree. He invited some Eagle Scouts who serve in his cabinet to be on stage with him. Rick Perry, the Energy Secretary, Ryan Zinke, the Interior Secretary. Jeff Sessions is also an Eagle Scout. He was not invited, Anderson.
Also, Rex Tillerson is, isn't he?
Indeed, Rex Tillerson was not there. He's an Eagle Scout as well. You know, read into that what you will, but the reality here is the president and Jeff Sessions, no two people were closer during the campaign, but because of Attorney General Sessions' decision to recuse himself from that Russia investigation 4 months ago, the president fuming about it, and we're told he's gotten even angrier as those months have gone past.
And former New York Mayor Rudy Giuliani's name has sort of been bandied about as a possible replacement. He actually commented about that.
He did indeed. I mean, Rudy Giuliani was talked about being the Secretary of State, perhaps, or a variety of other things. But there's been a big rumor in Washington who would replace Jeff Sessions if he would step down. Well, Rudy Giuliani was flying to Washington today, and CNN caught up with him and asked him about this. And he said, look, there's no truth to this rumor. I am not going to be named the next Attorney General. And he also said, look, I believe that Jeff Sessions did the right thing by recusing himself from this Russia investigation. And should the president, if the president would appoint him, there's a good reason to believe that he would have to recuse himself as well, because Rudy Giuliani was also involved in the campaign at the same time period. But Anderson, it points out how difficult it would be in this environment in Washington to confirm a new Attorney General. It's one of the reasons that a lot of people here, a lot of smart minds think that the Attorney General will stay. But again, of course, that's all up to the president. We'll see if they ever have that meeting, Anderson.
All right, Jeff Zeleny, thanks very much. Back with the panel, joining the conversation, Kirsten Powers, Matt Lewis, Paul Begala, and Jason Miller.